Hello everyone, welcome to Coders Camp, and we are today at the fifth day of April LeetCode Challenge, and the problem we are going to cover is global and local inversions. So the input given here is an integer array, and we have to return true if and only if the number of global inversions is equal to the number of local inversions. So the number of global inversions is the number where I is less than j, where I and j are the indexes given in the integer array, and array of I is greater than array of j. And the number of local inversion is the number where array of a is greater than array of a plus 1, sorry, I plus 1. So let's see how we're going to approach this problem. So here is a given example array nums, and let's first check how many global inversions are there in the given array. To check how many global inversions are there, the numbers in the array should satisfy the criteria array of I should be greater than array of j. So in this case, if you check 1, 0, 1 is actually greater than 0. So index 0 and 1 satisfies the condition. So far we have global inversion 1. So moving on to 0 and 2. If you check 0 and 2, they both are not satisfying this criteria, and the rest of the number is 1 and 2. So in this case, 1 and 2 also not satisfying this criteria. So overall the global inversions we found is 1. So moving on to local inversions is a subset of global inversions where the numbers should be greater than the adjacent number. So in this case, if you check 1 is greater than 0, 0 is actually the adjacent number to 1. So there is one local inversion. If you check 0, 2, there is the condition is not satisfying, and we cannot check any more numbers because we should only compare the adjacent numbers. So in this case, both local and global inversions are 1. So we have to return true. So how are we going to approach this problem? So clearly, all local inversions are global inversions because global inversion are nothing but any index I, that is the value at a of I, must be greater than a of j. The local inversions are a of I must be greater than a of I plus 1. So in this case, any I plus 1 can be j. So here, whatever local inversion we find will also be a global inversion, but not all global inversions are local inversions. So what are we going to prove here is we have to find a global inversion that is not a local inversion. Then in that case, our global inversions are not equal to local inversions. So we are going to return false. If not, we are going to return true. So if you observe this given array, the numbers in the array are going to be strictly from 0 to n minus 1. So in this case, so let's just consider this subarray 5, 3, 4 and calculate the global inversions and local inversions. So if you see, 5 and 3 satisfies one global inversion, and 5 and 4 also satisfies one global inversion because 5 is greater than 3 and 5 is greater than 4. But if you calculate the local inversions, 5 is greater than 3 but 3 is not greater than 4. If the number at I plus 2 position is gonna be less than the value at I, then it is not gonna give us the same number of global and local inversion irrespective of the middle number, whether it is greater or less than the number at I. If the number is 6 instead of 3, it is not going to give us the same number of global and local inversions. So simply, if any number comes at position I plus 2 is less than the value at I, then it is not going to give us the same number of inversions. So we are going to return false. Otherwise, if there is no such number ordering exist in the given array, then we are going to return true. Hope you're understanding this solution. So this actually works in big O of n linear time because we are iterating the array only once. So let's go to the code now. So let us have a variable max and iterate through our given array. So we are going to assign max value as the current max value so far. So we are going to check if at all the max value is greater than array of I plus 2. Then we are going to return false. If not, there is no such pattern exists, then finally return true. So we have seen I should not be greater than I plus 2 for just one subarray, but if it is for the whole array, we have to keep hold of the maximum value so far, and if any maximum value is greater than the value at I plus 2 of the current array position, then it is not going to give us the equal number of global and local inversions. So let's run. Let's submit. So yes, the solution is accepted. Thanks for watching the video. If you like the video, hit like and subscribe. Thank you.